Welcome back to Starsector. JC here. And I got sidetracked, trying to make more money. Granted, transporting pilgrims was never going to get me paid. But it appears it might gain me some benefits later on by visiting some shrines. It took me here, so I'm here, I might as well go and visit it. I thought rather than doing that off camera, I'll just go and join the pilgrims. Go visit the place. Maybe if we go and visit all of them, that, I don't know, the church will look favourably on me? I don't know. Maybe they'll just get off my case half the time. Right. Deorbiting to the surface of Gilead. I think I got that. Yeah. Is strictly overseen by the Knights of Lud. Your shuttle must queue behind a flotilla of lumbering transports and haulers filled with approved industrial goods. This provides you with time to contemplate the face of Gilead. Its continents, once fringed only by alien algae equivalents, while seeded with were seeded with Earth-like by a far roving spore ship of the second wave of human expansion. The Iridani utopian terraforming megacorp followed, and its vast machines stabilized the climate and ecological processes. Lud came then, pulled down the machines, and the believers who followed maintained the world as a garden wilderness of astounding riches. Truly, it is a gem of the Persian sector. Your shuttles receives a ping from traffic control. Mission to descend. The landing pad, one of a score of all associated to outsiders, is packed with parties of Lud pilgrims dressed in traditional hand weave led by robed attendants. One such stony-faced attendant meets your shuttle on the pad and, wasting no time, firmly but politely inquires about your business here. I will ask about the shrine. You will show willingness. You ask about it, then you visit it. The attendant dutifully explains that the shrine commemorates the holy site where Lud first stepped onto Gilead and was brought prostrate to the shock of non-believers, to kiss the earth itself. So overcome was Lud by the rapturous touch of divinity. Yeah, smell it. Religious. And we'll say no more on that. Lud's influence spread by its own evident virtue, the attendant explains, and the industrial terraforming machines were brought down and flowers bloomed in the rubble. There is no mention of strikes, global storms, sabotage, apocalyptic flooding, and heat waves, or corporate terror squads in this narrative, because there probably was all of those things and they don't want to mention it. Nor does the attendant mention that, technically, an entire planet owned by the Iridani Utopia Terraforming Megacorporation was illegally occupied by a radical cult. Rather, the unbelievers wept as Lud revealed their sins and told them forgiveness was within reach on this garden world. It is an appealing morality tale, delivered earnestly. The shrine. The attendant nods, explaining that you must leave your guards behind because this is a place of peace and all are equals on the pilgrim's path. The request is an implied request for keeping up appearances. A couple of your guards. A request is an implied request, and for keeping up appearances. You get to keep a couple of guards. They just have to be on a A couple of your guards, unarmed and trained for situations requiring this degree of subtlety, attend to your safety as per matter of course. That the church will understand that certain people require safety no matter what, but as long as you cater to their requirements, no weapons and stuff, there's some middle ground. They'll give a bit if you give a bit. Job done. You note other, usually small parties of pilgrims, plainly but clearly wealthy by their cut and carriage, led by their own shrine attendants and accompanied by unusually muscled distant cousins. Yeah. Certain people need to have bodyguards, so they have allowances for it. Nonetheless, the crowd filing out from the transport complex on a wide highway of barren earth and cobble are enormous. Those that cannot walk are carried. No powered transport is provided. Walk the path. The path of the pilgrims lead up a slope covered in trees, more enormous than any you've seen before. Probably redwoods then. Though small in scale compared to the celestial phenomena that is your daily bread, their living architecture forms a natural cathedral. Such floaty words. Blech. Dispassionate knights of Lud watch as attendants shuttle you through a cordoned path in an arc through the final grove. Oh my god, of mighty analogues. God, fancy weird words. Atop the promontory at the terminus of the ridge. Top of the ridge. Jeez. Use simple words. What? There's the temple. Struts and spurs interweaved with trees. Golden sunlight filters through heavy branches. And as the breeze lifts, a whispering chorus of foliage, you catch the earthly scent over the mass of humanity surrounding you. Approach the shrine. You have only a brief moment before the high altar of living wood. Small tokens and offerings are piled high amongst low, cheap candles. Blood Shrine, Gilead, visited. And in a moment, it passes. It is hot, and you are in a large and sweaty crowd full of pilgrims, all wrapped up away from you, lost in their own worship. The attendants do their best to herd the masses along the main pathway. You must push through groups, calling, crying, singing and praying. Yep. Return to your fleet. There you go. done. Ugh. Return to the shaded halls of the transport complex. You notice a young novice watching you. As you accidentally meet their eye, their smile widens. Target acquired. They approach, keen on proselytizing to Spacer Captain. These enthusiastic missionaries are on a common enough space docks, so you are not unprepared. As they first draw breath to speak, you seize the initiative and say, I'm already familiar with you. I am a strong supporter of AI rights. That would get you executed on this planet. I'm already familiar with your religion. Their prices. So you've already heard about the good news. Blessed are you in the eyes of blood already. And truly, do you court yourself among the faithful? No. You misunderstand. I already walked the path. No, I've already done this, but... wait, hold on. Count yourself among the faithful, or has a sense of spiritual belonging brought you to this shrine? I already walked that. Oh, pardon my presumption, Walker. May I pray with you for a safe journey through the holy vacuum? You can do whatever you wish. Yeah, he's always like, you're heading to the shrine. It's like, I've already gone there. Thank you. I'm on my way back. He's like, you can pretend to join the novice. You can join the novice. You can politely pretend to join. I will politely. So you'll do the motions, but yeah. I'm really not in the bothered of reading the rest of this. I just want to go back to flying in space, please. Yes, you politely hold your hands together and mumble something prayer-like, taking a moment to appreciate the poetry, the quoted scripture described despite the naive delivery. When your prayer finishes, the novice beams a bright smile at you. Behind them, you notice that the priest, the highest authority here, has been watching your exchange from a candlelit alcove. Oh God, I just want to go to orbit! As if on cue, or perhaps because they were hovering nearby the whole time, the curator of the shrine steps up to you and the novice. The blessed faith of the young. To dismiss forthright and, I'm afraid, tactless. My name is Don't Really Give a Damn, and I am entrusted with the care of this shrine. I felt called to you to personally welcome you, Captain. Aye, that's thank you. That's very nice. Excuse me, madam. Can I go back to orbit now? My fleet needs to be somewhere else. Perhaps your interest here is purely speculative, but it's a thing that popped up on my screen that said I hadn't visited it, so I visited it. What more do you want? You have my welcome, whether you come with faith or not. It's nice. Even if you don't have their faith and you just come to visit, they don't mind. You came to visit. And also those who are not pilgrims. She looks expectantly at you. Her silence asking which one you are, pilgrim or not? I'm just visiting. I brought some pilgrims here, so I decided to visit. I'm just visiting. Each person finds expression in the spiritual in their own way. Clears the throat, then gives a practice speech, taking together these shrines of the Pilgrim's Path. It is not merely a linear path through space. Oh, of course, she takes a patient tone. In secular hallucination, church and hegemony controlled volumes. Yes, it is a path, except whatever. How many are there? We've done one, we've got two more. A handful, she says. With a pause, eyes searching. Some have been lost over the years. Hold a station orbiting. Though military elements frequently there. And Volturn. Though the present authorities are fickle about access. Oh. You know about that one. Got to go visit there at some point. There was, or possibly is, a shrine on Gilead. It is a dangerous place, however, to say nothing of the system's infestation of pirates. Ah, yes. Yeah, one could make a few credits transporting pilgrims between shrines, yes. It could be charitable to transport pilgrims between shrines. I'd like to visit them all. Thank you indeed. Small smile. Even to the second of his, they represent wonders both. Yes, they are very fancy. Some unbelievers, I am told, have inadvertently found their faith while walking the Pilgrim's Path. Yeah, of course. Here, Captain, let me upload to you coordinates for all known shrines in on the Pilgrim's Path. Our off-brand database clearly uncomfortable with its use. Just show how to do it. Here you go. This. Thank you very much. You no longer have to interact with it. After a moment, you point out the correct sequence of commands for transferring the nav data. Wow. My thanks, she says humbly. The Pilgrim's Path visits the 6 Luddic shrines. Okay. Say your goodbyes and leave. Now I know where to avoid Good Day. Haha. Oh, thank you. Now I have a journey to begin. Most is a sign of blessing as you take your first steps on this path. The flight to your return so is uneventful, yet you are keenly aware of the thin envelope of technology protecting you from the ravages of vacuum and radiation. Yes, that's nice. Hey, I got experience, so that was worth it. Was it worth an almost entire episode? No. Will we be visiting the rest of these if we're in the area? Let us have a look. I have visited this one. That one is safe. Where is the Beholder Station? Oh! Safe. Okay. Volturn, that's safe. Hegemony, Safe. But it's trying Gilead. On. There. It's a empty world, but shouldn't be a problem. It's well within hegemony. Okay, well, we can visit some of these when I next have to come down to here. Just drop in on some of them on the way through. Not bad. Now all I gotta do is go home. What's this? Rapid shield emitters rather than being agile for Corvette. Increase maneuverability or rapid shields. I'll approve that suggestion. Anything in the insurance? No. Right. Home, please. Where is my home? I have seemed to have lost my home. Hold on. There it is. It was in the gas cloud. Should have realised that one. Which one? There it is. Home. Please. Thank you. Oh, I wanted to make money. Did not help. Oh, what it has done though is plus the money I received from the month turning over and the experience, I now have this. Which means... Yay! What that now means is that a lot of stuff is now being supplied in faction because I'm producing enough of it. Excellent. That is exactly what I wanted. Now things are cheaper because there you go. Demand supplied in faction is 67%, so the upkeep multiplier is decreased. Which means everything costs less. Excellent. I'll be able to supply that. Probably not all of that, but all of that. These, the domestic goods and that one, the main planet levels up because I'll be able to put some light industry in there, and that will produce these. So there'll only be 1, 2, 3 items I have to get in. Excellent. Perfect. Good. Now, you'll notice credits probably aren't as high as you would have expected after completing that previous mission. I made some purchases. Yeah, I put in some construction requests for a cruiser. Yeah, that's the thing. I put in a request for a cruiser. So that is waiting at home for us. Plus some, but probably not all of its armament. Right. In we go. Head on in. Tritachyon. Tritachyon. Yeah, Tritachyon are now doing horrible things because I've got competing exports. So they're very, very angry. Ah, piss. It was just going to be the pirates. Now it could be pirates or Tritachyon. And the problem with Tritachyon is they use phase ships, and that's a big fleet. And they're raiding, which means it will disrupt. That is either that's not unknown fleets. That's pirates versus the Tritachyon. Oh god. One upgrade caused so many problems. Oh well. We'll have to deal with Tritachyon because they hate competition. You know, standard corporate people. Can't have any competition. Whatever. Yep. Nut jobs. Right. Fleet. Storage. Take. You have what? What demod have you got? Faulty automated systems. Requires more crew. Yeah, I don't mind that. Take the ship. Stick it to the front. So now we need to go to crew. Crew I had spare. Makes up for it. Perfect. Oh. Gonna need like 20 crew to get up to that safety margin. There we go. Excellent. Right. How much have I got here? 8 databanks. That is worthwhile. Right. So what we need to do. So now I need to go into refit. What has this thing got as standard? It has some built-in and not a lot else. Oh, maximum. That can be disappeared. That's fine. I mean, it takes me less to recover it from deployment, which is handy. We'll have a look at an auto fit. You got a Lancer, Shield Breaker, or a Standard. And what would that do? Granted that I don't have the heavy rail cannon or the heavy maulers, so it's refitted it with auto cannon that I picked up off of a pirate and heavy mortars instead. They perform the same role, they're just not as effective. Dedicated targeting core because it's a big enough ship. It has the same as the integrated targeting unit, so that's fine. When I finally get one of those, I can sort that. Hardened shields, hardened shields. Stabilized shields, stabilized shields. Lovely. Excellent. Because I've got lower grade weaponry, I've actually got more capacitors and stuff. So stabilized shields. reduce the amount of soft flux rays shields generate. Okay. Targeting core is something. Hardened shields reduce the amount of damage they take. Very handy. Right, auto. No auto fit. Weapon groups. What do we got? The auto cannon and the poker. Those are kinetics. Good. Short, medium range missiles. It's just fire out a batch and hammer the hull. That is anti-shield. Those are anti-hull. Those are anti-shield. It's quite well balanced. And then you've got tactical lasers. Yeah, the range on the heavy mortar is not particularly great. It's something to upgrade. When I eventually get around to finding it. Finding some necessary upgrades. Well, that's nice. I am going to go up to here. You now need that added. So for if I need to, I'll drop down if a cruiser isn't really necessary for the fight, because this has a deployment cost of 13 and this is recovery cost is only 12, so it's actually costs less supplies to get this thing deployed than it is to get that one, which is nice. Hybrid focus is its system. Enhances both ballistic and energy weapons with specialized ammunition and high energy output respectively. Increases damage dealt, but less effective than a specialized system. Push button, things go brr and hit harder. Job done. So we now have a cruiser. Dum dum dum. Yay. Rugged construction. What is this? Reduces most negative effects from demods by 50%. Well, that's handy. If disabled or destroyed in combat, this ship has a 50% chance to avoid new demods and is almost always recoverable in battle. In addition, the supply cost to recover from deployment and to effect repairs if the ship is disabled is reduced by 50%. No wonder it doesn't cost that much to deploy it. Wow. Simplified maintenance protocols. Reduces the monthly maintenance supply cost by 6 units per month. Ooh. Oh. It's a very nice cheap ship to run. Miss, I like this ship already. Doesn't cost me an arm and a leg to run and deploy. Yes, the top speed is much lower because it's a cruiser, not a destroyer. But holy hell, is its survivability through the roof compared to the other one. Excellent. Miss, I like this. Miss, I like this a lot. So, I get to test that out at some point. Spend some time repairing. But we do now have a problem with yes. Yes, we become enough of a presence in the sector to start cutting into the profit margins of Tritachyon. Ah, yes. Independent flag commerce raiders. Little more than sanctioned pirates have been sighted in your space, attacking trade fleets regardless of their faction alliance. So that's going to be an issue, and that will not go away until the main event, because you can reciprocal solutions are also possible. What happens is once you get the main event, you can make yourself an absolute pain in the ass for them and make them go away. You make the campaign against you so unprofitable for them that they'll drop it. So you do the same back to them. You raid their convoys. You smash their ships. Granted, the problem with this is Tritachyon does send mercenary fleets after you that are problematic to deal with. Lots of phase ships, lots of EM. Granted, my ships also spit out a fair amount of EM, especially my previous one. So it looks like we're going to have to do some system patrols in the next episode. So we go from, aha, look, I've got this one upgrade that allows me to no longer have to, that makes everything cheaper for me because I'm supplying it in faction, to, on the other hand, comes along, goes, Tritachyon goes, hey, you're cutting into our profit margins too much. Now we're going to make it life hard for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You pain in arses. So, on that note, thank you for watching. Until next time, this is JC, out.